Hello YouTube, and welcome to a new video on a new channel. I'm going to be doing Football Manager videos for now, but I do have exciting plans to expand. I've got a couple of old games. I've got Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, which I absolutely love, and SimCity 4. I might have the deluxe edition, I can't remember, I'm going to have to dig it out. But right now, this is a kind of learning experience for me. I'm kind of new to Football Manager. I've only started. I only got the game actually about a month ago. And I bought it from Game for £29.99, and now if you go on Steam, I think it's selling at £7.99. And even when I bought it, Steam was selling it at £19.99. So yeah, I'm not very good with my money, I have to say. I need some fiscal responsibility, and I probably will be better then. But anyway, here we go. Here's a brand new season. We've got, I think it's £100,000 to spend. So here's my opportunity to be a bit more reasonable. Let's see. Does it say? I don't know. Usually tells me how much I've got. So yeah, my contract is £950 per week. As a manager, I've never actually got beyond Christmas in one of these games, so it could be a new experience if I ever get given a new contract, I have to say. Okay, background. Don't know if I should go through all of this. We won the League Cup in 1969, beating Arsenal. We're generally a championship, championship. I can't even say it. Championship / League One team. We have a major rivalry with Oxford and other minor rivalries with Bristol City, Bristol Rovers. Everybody who doesn't know Swindon says we've got a rival with Reading, but as anybody from the Thames Valley knows, nobody gives a shit about Reading. Nobody cares. Okay, so here's the Swindon report. I've been looking through a few of my players before this. They all have high opinions of Paul Caddis, and you can see why. I mean, the potential there's brilliant. 23, so he's sort of peaking right now, but to be honest, he will get quite a few offers coming in the winter time in January, so it's a tough decision. I don't think I want to sell him, but you know, if I get the right offer, then I suppose I have to. I will look at the team report in a minute. Welcome to the club. So, it doesn't look too bad. I have to say, obviously, determination is it's a weird trait because as much as it's useful if you're losing, I don't know how much of an effect it has. I know that if you're doing a press conference and you highlight a player on the other team and you want to psych him out, if he's got low determination, then you've got a better chance of succeeding with that. But other than that, I don't know too much about it. Actually, looking at that again, if we can. So another one is influence. I'm not entirely sure what this does, because you could look at a player who's got immense stats, both in technical, mental and physical, and they've got a very low influence. You know, you can see League One players or whatever with 2 or 3 influence. If we look at our team, it's probably a bad choice right now, actually. But nonetheless, okay, so let's look at, say, Matt Ritchie. There you go, 9 influence. Not particularly poor. If we look at SES, there you go, 1 influence. He's a decent League 2 player who never really cut the mustard in real life. Another sort of foreign import that was brought about when Di Canio just joined Swindon, but he's shown signs of quality. But no, that's what I mean. If you've only got 1 influence, is it that you don't really get much game time? You don't get much time on the ball, anything like that? I don't know. I could understand a captain having to have a high influence, but aside from that, I suppose we'll be figuring that out this season. So yeah, I will scout this guy. To be perfectly honest, I have got Simon Ferry as my sort of centre attacking midfield outlet. But again, I could do with some kind of backup, but necessarily it doesn't have to be expensive. So this guy could be a good option. If we look at our other ones, new subscriptions, start of season expectation, there you go. We've got 150,000 to spend. When you're in the lower divisions, generally you get, when I say lower, I mean League 2, League 1, those kind of divisions. You may sometimes not even get any transfer budget. Picking players up on the free is generally how you do your business at this kind of level of football. If you look at the players that Swindon have signed recently, they were all on frees. You know, nobody at our level really wants to spend big. The whole idea is you bring a player in on free, and if you're a good team, then you can afford their contracts. I have no idea how much we're forking out on contracts this year, but it's going to be quite expensive. Okay, so when I talk about this year, I mean Swindon in real life in League 1, which is where I hope to be in one virtual season. So if I meet my staff, Fabrizio Picaretta has advised you that you can ask him anytime to produce a loan report. So at the moment, one of my weaker positions I would say would be my left back. In that I've only got Callum Kennedy, who's a kind of developing player who has potential to be a decent player at this kind of level, but right now isn't really there entirely. In real life I don't really particularly think he's a brilliant player. Okay, so Joe Widdowson. Again, if you take the advice that you get from these guys, you would be forking out several thousand on this guy, who may be a decent player, but I want to bring players in on the cheap. Craig Woodman, again, that's going to be even more expensive as he's older. He's going to be asking for more money. These are both dropping down a division, so you can expect to be paying more. Centre back. See, I think our centre back options are fairly good. As much as that's going to say 1.2k, they normally double when they join another team. Attacking midfield right. So in my right attacking midfield, my options are currently Luke Rooney and Gabilondo. So if you look at Gabilondo, fairly decent stats, nothing that really stands out too much. 13 pace, 14 acceleration, so physically he can challenge in this division. In terms of crossing, 10 is fairly poor, I'd say. Finishing, he's not going to be doing too much of that because I'm going to play a 4-4-2, so he's not going to be too far up the pitch. Corners, poor. Decisions aren't bad actually. If you are going to be a wider player, your decisions and dribbling stats are quite important. Decisions for when you want to make a run, obviously dribbling for when you're running with the ball. Off the ball, 12, actually quite a good stat. So again, I would say he's my kind of can't talk today. My kind of main man in that position, but I am looking for backup, so I may ask for a loan report in that position as well. Mario Esposito. Now he looks good, but the thing about that is he's going to be expensive. I don't think I even need to scout him. He looks good. So as you can see there, he's asking for £5,000 a week. What I would have done if I just started Football Manager is I would have gone, oh my god, £3,500 a week. Move that all up, and then I would have no money to spend for the rest of the season. It's players like this you kind of want to avoid, especially foreign players that, you know, are hit or miss with how they would work. Again, 1.2k per week is going to double if he signs for you. He's moving from another country, obviously, so it could just not work out. Oliver Reese's free kicks. Now, I don't really rate him too much as a free kick taker. I remember the Chibokki free kick against Southampton in the League Cup early on in the season. I would say if he was playing, I would have him taking my sort of long shots, because he's got a long shot stat of 15 on this game. As you can see, all-round stats though, he is a very solid player for this division. Although he's used as centre-back mainly for Swindon in real life, his position when he signed was as a defensive midfielder. Originally he was our captain at the start of the season, but he was out due to injury, and this 16 influence, I don't know where that comes from. Certainly he has an effect on the team, but I'd say Paul Caddis should be the captain. SES, again, it's really annoying because I don't plan on playing him, so I would add him, but he's not going to be taking them because he's not playing. Callum Kennedy, now, where his crossing is 13, I could understand that his corners are 11, but I do have better options than that. So if you look at Lee Cox, that's actually quite bad. I thought I had better ones than that. I don't really care about penalty takers. Probably not going to get too many other. I don't have a specific player to take a throw in. I don't really see the point. It's set 4-4-2. Now we do have some excellent youth prospects, and I think I will be looking at them in the next episode. But right now I think I've just got to see who I want to bring in and who I want to drop. So if we look at the people on loan currently, we're actually paying the wages for both Ronan Murray and Daniel Boateng, who's from Arsenal. His stats, you know, definitely going to develop into a brilliant player, but right now his only strengths really are his physical abilities. You know, I don't really want to be paying 1.5k a week for a backup player, so I am going to send him home. Terminate loan. Just see how long we've been going for. 11 minutes. I think the maximum length I'm allowed is 15, so may have to cut this one short, but I will be making another episode straight away. Okay, so we're sending Daniel Boateng home. Ronan Murray did absolutely nothing for us this season. From what I've heard, it might be another player now. I can't remember. Apparently he tries hard, but I don't know. I just remember everyone singing if Murray scores we're on the pitch at Gillingham. He has scored for us in the past, but you know, and it was a header, and he's incredibly short. Okay, so straight away we're going to be putting in Paul Caddis as right back, Chiboki left back, although I may be moving Kennedy in as a kind of competition until we get our main man to come into there. For an attacking outlet and fullback, I would mainly go with Caddis. Chiboki and Kennedy, not particularly brilliant. As you can see, Kennedy's crossing is actually quite good, but his agility, balance, pace, stamina, not particularly brilliant. Stamina is a very important stat in a winger. Billy Bowden. Now, I've not used him in the past when I've been on Swindon plays, but as you can see, his potential is 4.5 stars. He could potentially be a good Empower Championship left winger in the future, so you could be looking at making a few 100k if you can develop him, which will be important in the coming seasons. So if we look at our strikers, we've got, and if we look at the time, we've got several options here. Obviously the best player that we don't have with us is Lucas Magira. I mean, if you look at that, those are just sublime stats for a League 2 striker. In real life, he's a very tall foreign import that didn't really do much in League 2. But he was rated beforehand, you know, very good physical stats. Acceleration and agility, pace, not brilliant, but you could understand that for a massive player. Whereas his strength is 18, so if you're going to play the long ball or if you're going to get him to hold it up, then at the end of the day he can do that job. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here today at 4 minutes and 15 seconds. So thank you for watching, and in the next episode